What's up, everybody? Hope everyone is having a great evening. I got a very special guest with me, Ernesto Munguia, owner, CEO of MRE Recruiting. Ernesto, how you doing today, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime, man, especially a young guy hustling out there in the recruiting world, man. You gotta love it. What are you up to nowadays, man? I know we're gonna get into the combines, the showcases. Are you working for a specific college right now?
I recently got hired as a recruiting coordinator coach at a junior college at
Okay,
ASU
very
Miami.
cool.
Yeah, so it's just a stepping stone. The hardest thing to get in, the people say to get into is to get in there. To just
Right.
basically, have the opportunity to get in there, which is basically a college coaching job and stuff. I accepted it, and I'm just gonna see where it goes. I'm still young, and
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
never a high school coach or nothing. I just straight to the college building, to college.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're doing a lot of great things at a young age, man. Recruiting
Yeah,
coordinator down at a junior college in Miami.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. And that's how you start, to work your way up, and you got your own showcases and combines right now. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So basically, it's about hosting. I have college coaches come by. NFL guest speakers, well respected NFL guest speakers come by as well. And I'm just gonna keep doing it all the time. My big ones are gonna be in May. But that's when the big schools are gonna come and stuff. But I'm just waiting for it, to see when the virus settles down and when I can do it again. But usually for
Right.
when I do it December, January, those are like basically second chance opportunities for seniors and juniors. For the ones that are not like big time D1 players, but they can go low Division 1 or D2. Those are the type of
Gotcha.
schools that come. But in May, those are when the big D1s come and stuff.
Very cool, man. What are the plans for May? Are you gonna have any professional players? Talk to these high school kids.
Yeah. So my next one, I'm planning it to be December or January, like depending on when the how the virus is looking. But yeah, I'm planning to have good college schools there, and hopefully, if I come with a day, I can get my buddy, NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens there in the building.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That'll be
man.
big, for me, and most importantly for the kids, someone like that, so he can speak to the kids.
And if I stand corrected, Terrell Owens, he didn't go to a big Power Five
Nah, he
school.
went to a low
He went to a
D1
small school.
Chattanooga. Yeah, he started playing football as an eighth grader.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. Coming into college, he was just learning how to play the receiver position. He's like he never thought about making it to the NFL. He just someone who worked hard. Wasn't a three
Right.
star or 2 star in high school or a big time player in college, but coming out of the NFL, he was a 5 star.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And how did you build that relationship, make that connection with Terrell Owens?
Well, so I was just a kid in high school, and there was a teacher I got along with really well. I didn't even know he knew T.O. It's just someone that he admired me and I admired him. Me and that teacher created a great friendship, and he just said, "Hey, man, I trust you a lot. I'm gonna introduce you to someone. Just come by at this time." I'm just like, okay, cool. Little did I know it would be Hall of Famer T.O. And me and him spoke. He saw the innocence in my eyes. He saw that I'm someone that I can trust. So then, we spoke and stuff. Then days later, he follows me on Instagram. And then we start talking. Then he gives me his number. And then from there, I hosted my first combine, months like years and months later. And he did me the favor and he posted my combine flyer on his Instagram page and did me that
Oh
favor.
wow.
Yeah. But that's the one that had
Very
Brian
cool.
Rockpool come by as my special
Yeah,
guest.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. And Brian Orakpo, I mean, he was a first round pick out of Texas, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty huge, man. So that's great. You're making these connections. And what gave you kind of the motivation or kind of sparked your interest in, to having your own combine at such a young age?
Well, to be honest with you, that's the last thing that was the last thing on my mind, really. I'm just someone who believes if you put the work in, and you believe in your craft and you spend, and you practice, anything can happen, So basically, this is how I started. I was just a senior in high school, right? And my friend was the first team all state quarterback. I was a track kid. and I helped them find the school, which was Independence Community College, Last Chance U.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I helped them. I'm the one that found them that school,
Oh, wow.
and everyone was like, "Oh, so who helped you?" Then all the seniors came to me, and I helped all of them. And then I started making connections and stuff, and then I made a page, about it, and then I just built it up from the ground up. And then 2 years later, which is 2020, back in January, I hosted my first ever MRE combine, and it was really good.
Awesome, man. And what kind of, if I'm a high school player and I have interest from, schools, I mean, what steps do I go through in your combine?
Well, number one, I'll say just make sure you have grades.
Right.
Because like it's easy to find talent, but it's hard to find talent with grades. So just make sure you have grades. If some people get lucky because they're freak of natures. If you're a freak of nature, then that's different. But if you're someone who's like a regular 5'9", 5'10" kid, if you're not explosive, then you gotta have some grades. Unless you're explosive and special. Like Tutu Atwell from Louisville. Explosive. He's from Miami Northwestern, but explosive. The running back from USF, explosive. So if you're short, you have to be really explosive.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you want to play at the next level, you just gotta have really good grades. But you could be decent, but you just gotta have really good grades.
And is that what really, college coaches look for in a recruit, kind of that resume?
Well, as a college coach, you always look for height. Everyone wants a big lineup, but if someone is short or not the height they want, then they got to be explosive as hell. If you're not, yeah, that's what they look for. You got to be really explosive.
Who are some of the schools that you keep in contact with?
I keep in contact with a lot of schools. I know mostly all the P5s.
All the Power Fives, huh?
Yeah, mostly all of them. When Terrell Owens, shit,
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
What can you say from your experience, your relationship with these coaches? What programs do you see on the rise and moving into South Florida recruiting?
Well, that's a good question. So what I learned from a couple college coaches, speaking with them, if you can recruit Florida, this is what they say. If you can recruit Florida, that means you can recruit anywhere.
Right.
So basically, Florida is, everyone loves to recruit Florida because they say Florida kids are just different.
Right.
They just something about them that makes them different. So a lot of college coaches they love to recruit Florida because there's just a lot of talent. It's a lot of speed down here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah. But I see a lot of a lot of HBCUs are from what I checked, a lot of HBCUs are starting to recruit now. Florida, they started to because it's just a lot of talent here, man. You have
absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of Power Five schools, coaching staffs, how do you view the relationship the University of Miami football staff has with the community of Miami-Dade County?
Well, look, I'll say just by all the greats that's been playing there, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, many more names. When you have respectable guys, and that program has showed that they can develop, those type of people, and they come to new recruits saying, "Hey, look at all these greats. You look at what we developed. It's a culture, that they have. So
right.
If you can if the recruits can see that vision with you, then you have something going on.
Absolutely, yeah. No doubt about it. And did you like the Manny Diaz hire? Because I know he was actively, he was on Miami Hurricanes football staff for quite a while. He's always been actively in college football and other programs, but a lot of people thought his resume didn't really match the Miami job. So what were your thoughts about that?
Well, he was supposed to be the head coach at Temple, but then then Mark got it, resigned, and then Manny Diaz got the opportunity to become the head coach at UM. I mean, I was kind of iffy about it, but at the end of the day, people deserve an opportunity,
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna see how he does this year, and judge it by there.
And I mean, since you deal with a lot of like high school coaches, high school players, what's the word around town per se? Is there a lot of respect, for Manny Diaz coming in as head coach, or is it a wait and see approach right now?
He has to earn it,
Has to earn it.
Yeah, he has to earn it, Yeah. people, he just has to earn it. I'm gonna just go with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what coaches really do make an impact in the community?
I'll say, the ones that come from the local areas, like Van Dyke, Cooney, those type of guys that know the area well and know the high school coaches well. I say those guys, and they recently got a new hire, Hippolyte from Carroll
Yeah,
City.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
true.
I'll say guys like that know the area and understand kids from that area, because basically the best players come from inner city, and those
Right.
guys been around the inner city, they coach the inner city, so and they've been around it. So I say, having guys like that understand the community, have influence in the community, that's good to have.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
got to
no,
get players to win. You got to get players to win.
that's a great point. That's a great point that you made. You want to have coaches that develop their relationship with the local players, and we're having people on that staff like the DeMarcus Van Dykes, Coach Hippolytes, Telly Lockett's,
Yeah.
Coach Pata,
Yeah,
Brian
Pat
Pata's
as well.
brother. These guys, they played high school football in Miami-Dade County. They've made the connections. The Coach Cooney's, they've already made the connections with the high school coaches. They have a good good word of mouth from other coaches, hey, like I can vouch for this guy. I've known him for so long, so I think ultimately that was great of Coach Manny Diaz to, add in those guys, especially Coach Fields as well. That's probably my favorite coach on the staff. I think he has a great rep. He's one of the best recruiters in the nation as well. So I think Coach Fields personally is my favorite coach. Any head coach outside of Miami that really a lot of players right now in the local area are really, really like.
You talking about for high school or college?
High school players kind of admired to the college coach.
Well, if you ask like, most of the kids that are real good football players, are mostly in the Liberty City, or in Liberty City, Overtown, and area. And based on my experience, some of them want to go to Florida State, some of them want to go to some of them want to go to UF, some of them want to go to Alabama. A lot of kids talk about Nick Saban, just because, based on my experience, just because he's someone who's proved that he can win, and do it again. Because a lot of people win championships, but if you're consistent with it, then that just means you're special,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not easy to win consistently. So 100%, man. And what was I going to ask? I just blanked right now. But I want to get your opinion on this subject. I thought of it when I just asked you that question. What are your thoughts on 7-on-7? Because I know you're running, a showcase recruiting site, for players, to showcase their skill set. A lot of people say 7-on-7 gives players the extra notice for college coaches to come and see their skill set as well. Are you a fan of 7-on-7, or do you think what you're doing can promote the players more?
I'm a fan on 7-on-7, but I'm kind of, there's some things that, what basically a lot of kids, right, that do things on 7-on-7, they wouldn't do in pads, because they know they're not getting hit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, they know they're not getting hit, so they do basically whatever they do, things that they wouldn't do on 11-on-11.
Right.
But it does get them better. Don't that it does get them better though. I do agree on that part, but some kids just whatever they do on 7-on-7, they don't do in real football because they know they won't get hit in 7-on-7.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I always thought that as well. 7-on-7, you're not putting on pads on. There's practice players and there's game players.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I've also spoken, obviously I've spoken with coaches on 7-on-7 teams, and they say, hey, it does a tremendous job, for players to get their skill set out there.
Yeah, skill-wise, it does get them better.
So I just want to hear your point. And what do you think your your combine, your showcase really has to offer for these players?
Well, number one, I care about these kids, let's say, they come by a combine, because the thing with college coaches, they want to see how players move, they want to see how they move and stuff. So I try to basically do everything what a college coach would want to see, so and basically when that's over, let's say some athletes didn't speak with a college coach, I would still know when college coaches are still looking for players, because a lot of college coaches text me. So let's say the ones that came to my combine didn't speak to that player, I would still, make a call for those players that I know a college coach would still take them. So it's
Right.
all about, I look out for the kids.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
How do you make that connection with a coach? Why should they talk to Ernesto Munguia? Why not someone else? What's your pitch to them?
Well, you know how they say first impression counts. The first
Yeah.
time you meet them, you have to have basically pass on good names to them. When you pass on good names to them, you have a good credibility, and that trust builds up. Once that trust builds up, they can trust you by your word because based on giving them good names in the past and stuff, and they trust you. So I think that's where it goes. Just building the trust with them, and
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
and don't mess up your credibility. You always got to be honest with the college coaches. If someone can't play, you be like, hey, coach, he can't play.
Right. Yeah. The last thing you want is, recommending them a player and you're not doing it out of what you believe just because, hey, just try to please them. I think that's the last thing they want.
You got to be honest.
Absolutely.
And they respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what colleges were you trying to get down for the May one?
As many as I can. I'm trying to get as much of P5s as I can. I've been,
P5.
A lot of P5s. They'll be interested too, basically, because I'm in South Florida.
Do you make connections with high school coaches as well?
Yeah, you have to. The high school coaches basically have to be your best friend.
What high schools are you actively speaking with?
I speak to almost all of them.
All of them?
All of them in Miami-Dade County, mostly all of them.
Absolutely.
And I've been speaking with some in the Broward area and a few up north, like in Orlando, Tampa area. But I've just been making sure the ones in Dade County I develop a relationship with just because I'm in the Miami area.
Right, absolutely. And are you excited for this upcoming season, man?
Yeah,
college football. Miami starts in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
What are your thoughts about this 2020 season as a whole? Maybe are there going to be certain teams you're looking out for that are on the rise? Do you think Manny Diaz can pull through year 2?
Well, I was hoping that there was a football season, and thank God there is, because kids basically, if they don't have football, what they would, there's not much they'll be doing. Maybe they'll get in trouble or something, but I'm just glad we have a football season just to start off. And I'm really excited for the season. I really hope they could win this game. I believe that Manny Diaz has made some changes and he stepped up, especially with the Ed Reed hire.
Right.
Him just doing that, you can tell that, he's really serious. He's really trying to do something with the program. He's trying to win games. So just basically on the changes he's done and basically a new OC. Let's see how he does, and then bringing in the quarterback from Houston.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the changes that Manny Diaz has done, you can tell that, he's serious about trying to win. So I'm just trying to see, just letting time tell, but I wish nothing but the best for him, though.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What's your prediction on this college football season for Miami? You think they can get over that 6 and 7 hump, or you think they can really start getting back to their old ways?
I'm gonna go. I know for sure they're gonna do better than last year.
Right.
And but I'll say for sure they'll be over 500 this year.
Over 5.
Yeah. Just because the changes that Manny Diaz has done, I've been around a lot of college coaches and high school coaches, like coaches that's won. That's won state titles, that's won bowl games. And I've been speaking with them, and they agreed with me based on the changes that he's done. They're kind of with me. They feel like he's gonna win some games.
That's the thing too. I feel like a lot of coaches, they like Manny Diaz. They're not like doubting him. And with the changes he's making, we have a solid staff at Miami, so hopefully we can get over the hump. The key is offense. Our offensive coordinator was awful this past season. Our offensive line was bad as well. Yeah. But we made changes. We're getting in a new OC. We're going to go up-tempo, air raid offense. This is an offense kind of in the spread system where, a lot of that's the offense you run it in South Florida. A lot of our recruits are from South Florida. So naturally, that's the offense they ran in high school. So you bring that to the college level, It should be an easy adjustment compared to what we were running under Mark Richt and Dan Enos. It was very old school power football, and we need to modernize as a program. So, hey, hopefully we can get better. Ernesto, where can we, if I have a kid, he's in high school, where can I get MRE recruiting? Where can I find out more about it?
Well, basically, when I host a football combine, let's say a kid does not know about me, or let's say their high school coach or college coach would call me up, call me, hey, look, there's a kid, that can play and stuff. Do you know any others? I'm not going to recruit them because we're full, but if you have any other schools that, that are looking, do you know what schools? And 9 out of 10, I know what schools are looking just because I have a long list of connections and they always text me. So I wouldn't mind if he could play and he has grades, I don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And can they get in touch with you through Instagram, Twitter?
Both.
Twitter? Okay. And then what's your Twitter handle?
MRE_recruiting. Same with
MRE_recruiting. Let me write that down real quick. MRE_recruiting. And then is there a certain recruit that you're looking for? Obviously, are you looking for an elite Division I player, under the radar JUCO guy trying to get into the D2 ranks?
Basically any individual that can play. It doesn't matter if they're D1, D2, D3. What matters is if they can get a college education,
Right. And South Florida area recruits specifically, or you can go out of the state
anywhere.
of Florida?
Yeah. A lot of Texas kids hit me up. Cali kids hit me up. MRE is national. So
MRE is national. I love it, man. Are you just trying to have combines down in South Florida? Is that where?
Well, for now, that's for now, yes. But in the future, I do plan to extend. It's all about developing relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And nothing happens overnight. So
yeah.
Hey, man. Exactly. Rome wasn't built overnight. So
like my great friend Terrell Owen says, you got to put the desire, dedication, and discipline, and anything can happen. So if I do that, I can make it happen.
Tell us something about T.O. maybe, I wouldn't know about because I've never met the guy, So what's something that T.O., maybe he's funny, maybe, he's a cool guy, just something about him that we wouldn't know.
Well, T.O. to me is someone, who, if you're honest with him and you're straightforward with him, you won't have no problems. A lot of people like to talk bad about T.O., but they really don't know T.O. I got a chance to meet him, and to me, he's a great guy. As long as you're honest, straightforward, and don't do anything fishy, he's a great person to be around with. One of the nicest guys I've met in my life.
Hey, you think you'll come on the show? I'm kidding.
On the show? Let's see, man. No promises.
Hey, it's all good, man. Ernesto, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was a pleasure to have you on. Bro, best of luck, man. You're a young guy. You're doing a great thing with this combine. This is just the beginning. Imagine 5 years from now. Imagine 10 years, bro. So keep pushing, man.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck, man. Best of luck. And MRE_recruiting. If you got a kid, someone in the high school football area, and it doesn't matter if it's in South Florida, North Florida, in Alaska, in California, hit up Ernesto at MRE_recruiting on Twitter. And, man, he'll take care of him. Anyways,
yes, sir.
Ernesto, thank you again, man. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate you.